Good afternoon, everyone. I am Dr. Krishna Patel, and I will be looking over your English in the first year. So many of you must be knowing me because I have conducted some of the lectures in first year as well. I think in first year FM, I have taken a few lectures, and before Diwali, for all the three of your divisions, I had conducted a class. But anyways, from now onwards, I'll be looking over your English. So welcome to the lecture of English. As you know, in English, we will be meeting through this medium twice a week, and once a week I will be conducting an online class where you can ask me questions, whatever questions you have in that live class. Okay, so while such lectures, such recorded classes are going, if you have any questions, please write those questions down, or you can ask those questions in the comments. But instead of doing that, write those questions down, and in the live class that we conduct, you can ask those questions to me. Okay. Um, those who have seen the syllabus, that that is fine, but those who do not know what the syllabus is, I would like to show you the syllabus in English in the first semester. So your syllabus is this one. This is your syllabus in English. First of all, those who do not know, the name of your textbook is The Spectrum by Macmillan, and above the spectrum you can see the total credit, 3 hours per week you have to study, right? So you'll be having 3 lectures for English, and out of those 3, 2 lectures will be sent to you like this. These will be the recorded classes, and for one lecture you will be meeting me online. uh, the Zoom ID that you join to study other subjects, with the same Zoom ID, you can meet me once a week. That will be told to you later on whenever it is required. So this is the name of your textbook, The Spectrum by Macmillan. This textbook will be available in the market, uh, in Lucky Bookstore or in Gajanan or in Popular. This is available. However, I don't force the students to go out and buy the textbook in the present scenario. And I consider it my responsibility to present prose and poetry, and I will be sending those to you in the soft copy, okay, through your Google Classroom. So in Spectrum, you have, in the first semester, you have 3 prose pieces. First, On Saying Please. Second, Go Kiss the World. And third, The Night Train at Deoli. So these are the 3 prose pieces. And in poetry, you have 3. First is Sonnet 116. Second is All Things Will Die. And third is Still I Rise. Okay, so these are the 3 prose and 3 poetry that you have to study. And apart from prose and poetry, you also have functional writing. So in functional writing, okay, by the way, before I forget to tell you, uh, kindly keep a notebook for English, and in that notebook, write everything that I share with you, write everything that I tell you to write, because even while the lecture is going, even while I'm discussing certain things, I will be giving you the important points. I will be giving you the notes. I will be sharing with you the important PPTs. So kindly write those things in the notebook, because I believe that instead of keeping those things in your classroom or in a folder or in a computer or in a PC, rather you should write those things in your notebook, because by doing so, you will also be able to have a writing practice first. Second, the things that you write down, actually you also understand those things better. So I don't want the students to forget writing, because English is a subject where also your spelling mistakes, also your grammatical mistakes, your tenses, your constructions, all these things matter. So kindly cultivate the habit of writing the things down in the lecture of English. I'll be seeing your notebooks whenever it is required. And you do have to get internal marks. And for those internals, I request you all to maintain a notebook for English. Okay, so in that notebook, on the very first page of your notebook, in fact, you should write your syllabus. See, you guys might be having this syllabus in a soft copy or in a hard copy, but still, I request you all to write this syllabus in your notebook as well. So in the first page, write your syllabus, the three prose pieces and the three poetry pieces. And apart from prose and poetry, you also have functional writing. Now, what is functional writing? So in functional writing, you will be required to write certain things. Now, what do you have to write? This is functional writing. So basically, you have to write email, business email. So the emails that are written in business, that also specifically inquiries, replies, and orders that you have to study, and you will be asked from this. Second is dialogue writing. So you will be asked dialogue. Now what sort of dialogues or conversations? So that is also interpersonal conversation, congratulating and responding to congratulations, compliments, appreciation, encouragement, asking for giving and refusing permission. So this sort of dialogue will be asked to you. And third, paragraph writing. So you will be asked paragraph. Now, we will be learning these points in detail, but basically paragraph writing has much to do with essay writing. Okay, so these are the things that you have to write, and by these functional writing topics, you have to actually expose your writing skills. So as you know, the name of our subject is communication skills. So written and spoken communication skills. So here your written and spoken communication skills are to be sharpened. Okay, so always remember the name of your subject is not English, it is written and spoken communication skills. So first of all, in your notebook, you should write the name of your subject, and that is written and spoken communication skills. This is very important because also in exam you will be having a paper, question paper, that will be having two subjects. One will be language through literature, another will be written and spoken communication skills. So you don't have to write language and language through literature because that is another book, that is another subject. You don't have to study that. Rather, you have to deal with written and spoken communication skills. So these are two different subjects, and different colleges actually choose different subjects for their students. Our college has selected written and spoken communication skills. Okay, so you should always remember the name of your subject is written and spoken communication skills. Okay, and in that subject, this is your syllabus. Kindly write prose pieces, poetry pieces, and functional writing. So in functional writing, though you do not write everything else, at least write first writing business email, second dialogue writing, and third paragraph writing. Okay, okay, even those who have already seen the syllabus, or those who already have syllabus, also they will be helped by these things. This is very important. The things that I'm telling you right now, they are very important because they will be helpful to you in exam. So don't feel that हमको तो syllabus पता ही है, why is ma'am repeating this? This is very important, whatever I'm telling you. Now this is the distribution of marks for the university exam. In other words, this is the paper style. Okay, so this is your paper style. In the next page, write your paper style or distribution of marks for the university exam. Okay, you have four questions in university exam. First, short answer type questions from poems only. So in short answer type questions, you have to write 5 out of 7. Okay. and you have to answer those questions in 2 to 3 sentences, and you have to write 5 out of 7. So each question will be carrying 2 marks. So overall it is of 10 marks question. Now these 2 3 sentences answer has to be the questions for this particular question will be asked from poems only. That means you have to study short answer type questions only from poems. You don't have to study the short answer type questions from prose. From poems only you have to study this. Okay. Now question 2, long answer type questions, and this will be asked from prose only. Okay. So now you should understand this. The short answer type questions will be asked from 3 poems only, that is Sonnet 116, All Things Will Die, and Still I Rise. Okay, and long answer type questions will be asked from prose only, that is first On Saying Please, second Go Kiss the World, and third The Night Train at Deoli. I hope it is clear now. So second is long answer type question from prose only. You have to write one. You will be given two. Out of those two, you have to select one and you have to write that here. This is of 12 marks. And then third, business email. Uh, Again, you will be asked two, and out of those two, you have to write one. This is also of 12 marks. And question 4. Now, question 4 is divided in two parts. A would be dialogue writing. You have to write 1 out of 2. This is of 8 marks. And B, paragraph writing, will be given 2 titles, out of which you have to write 1. This is of 8 marks. So overall, the question 4 will be of 16 marks and the paper will be of 50 marks. Okay. So this is your paper style. Now, I don't know whether you have studied one poem or one lesson or functional writing or XYZ. I am going to deal with the entire syllabus. So I'm going to start with the first lesson uh, in our class, and that is the night train at Deoli. Now those who have textbook, they can keep their textbook open with themselves, and those who do not have textbook, for them I have got this lesson in soft copy from internet. This will be helpful to you to study the lesson. Even those who do not have textbook can study. So as far as textbook is concerned, it will be very good if you all go out and buy the book, but I will not compel any student to do so. If you can get the textbook, that is very well and good. But even if you don't get textbook, I would assure that your studies will not stop. I mean, I will be sharing with you the soft copies of everything that is available to me. Okay. So this is the lesson, The Night Train at Deoli. This is written by Ruskin Bond. Okay, so this is the soft copy of the lesson, and I will be sharing this with you on Classroom. But before that, let us have a brief discussion on who Ruskin Bond was, and let us know something about him as a writer, as a person who has produced literature, and then we may also discuss about the background in which he used to write, and then we will move on to the story. Okay. So I am having your your textbook in my hand. So I'm reading from it because this is important to all of you to know about the writer as well, because you have to write a long answer from the prose. You have to write, as we have seen in the paper style, you have to write a long answer. Now in that long answer, you obviously have to write something about the writer also. Who the writer was, what was his background, how did he deal with the literature, what was his occupation, where did he reside. So you should write at least something about the writer as well in the answer. So about the author, Ruskin Bond, who was born in 1934, was born in Kasauli, Himachal Pradesh and grew up in Jamnagar, Gujarat, Dehradun and Shimla. A prolific writer, he has more than 100 short stories, essays and novels to his credit, many of which are for children. His first novel, The Room on the Roof, was written when he was 17. Okay, so The Room on the Roof was his first novel, and he wrote this novel when he was 17. Why I repeated this sentence? Because you will be asked MCQ, that is to say the optional questions you have. So your internal test, in your internal test, you also will be having a test for the objective. So in that test, you will be having a question and then four options, and out of the four options, you have to select the right one. So here, you can be asked a question like, blank was the first novel written by Ruskin Bond. And you'll be having four options. So out of those four options, one will be The Room on the Roof. So you have to select the right answer, that is The Room on the Roof, and you'll get 1 mark. So, in this way, you'll be having an exam in which there will be 16 questions at least. Okay. So for that reason, I will be repeating the things which are important, and I request you all to keep your notebook open so that you can write these things down as points in your notebook, so that while reading, while preparing for exam, you can go through all your notes. I assure those who take regular notes and those who are regular in my class will get very good marks in exam, because I give you all the important points and everything that is, IMP, for which the students keep running here and there. All the IMPs will be shared in the classroom itself. Keep your notebook open, keep your mind open, and keep your pen also open. Keep writing the things which are important. Okay. So I repeat, his first novel, The Room on the Roof, was written when he was 17. That is Ruskin Bond. He was 17. He received the Sahitya Akademi Award for English writing in India for his book Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra. Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra. Again, this is the name of a book that he wrote. And for this book, he got Sahitya Akademi Award for English. Again, you can be asked a short question like, blank was the book for which Ruskin Bond received the Sahitya Akademi Award for English writing in India. Okay, and in options you will be having the names of four books, out of which one will be Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra. Okay, or the same question can be asked to you in a different manner. Ruskin Bond received blank award for English writing in India for his book Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra. I repeat the question. Ruskin Bond received blank award for English writing in India for his book Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra. And out of the four options, one will be Sahitya Akademi Award. Okay, so this is the correct answer. I hope you are getting what I mean to say. These are the important points, and you should keep a note of these points. Okay, so Ruskin Bond, the important thing is that Ruskin Bond received the Sahitya Akademi Award for English writing in India for his book Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra. Okay, so this is what we know about Ruskin Bond and his themes. I mean, the subjects that he deals with, his themes include the joys and pains of childhood, love, nature, and the travels of growing old. Sorry, growing up. So these are the general themes that we find in Ruskin Bond's book, because even the other short stories that and even the other literature that I have read, that has been produced by Rustin Bond, that has already always dealt with his childhood, the way he grew up, the way he loved, the way he sees love, and the relationship of him as a child to the nature, even as a person, as a human being, the kind of relationship he shares with nature, that is clearly reflected in all his writings. So these are the general themes that he deals with, in his literature. The joys and pains of childhood, love, nature, and the travels of growing up. These are the general themes that we find in his literature. Okay, written in simple and lucid prose, his stories celebrate ordinary moments and everyday experience. He was awarded a Padma Shri in 1999. Again, this is an important point. Ruskin Bond was awarded a Padma Shri, which is an important award of India. Very few people get this Padma Shri. So he was awarded with a Padma Shri in 1999. So you should also write this in the notes for English. Okay, so his short stories are famous for the simplicity and lucidity in his prose. Simplicity. He doesn't use very difficult or very complex kind of prose. He writes in a simple language, and the language in his prose is lucid. That it flows very smoothly, and his stories celebrate the ordinary moments, the day-to-day experiences of our life. So this is the charm in his short stories, that he observes the day-to-day life, and he finds out something special, something specific, something beautiful, something charming in the ordinary or day-to-day experiences. So that is where the charm of Ruskin Bond is. Okay, so this was about the author, and let us move on to the story now. The story that we have, The Night Train at Deoli, that short story written by Rustin Bond. And the story deals with one of the very interesting topics, and that is adolescent infatuation. Adolescent infatuation. You can say this is the first love, or you can say this is the writer's first infatuation. So it is the story of an adolescent infatuation presented with great sensitivity. Okay. So this story expresses the narrator's attraction for a poor basket seller whom he comes across at a small station while he was on his way to Dehra. So one more thing I would like to bring your attention to is that Ruskin Bond was a person from Himachal Pradesh. He spent much of his lifetime in Dehradun, and he loved mountains. He loved this place, Dehradun. So in all his stories, in all his literature, there is always a reference to Dehradun. Why this is important, because all the writers, even the producers, even the directors of movies, love a place. In fact, they present us this place as a setting or as a background in their work of literature. Okay, so for Ruskin Bond, that setting or that place which he loved a lot, that was Dehradun. So in all his stories, there is always somewhere or the other there is a reference to Dehradun, or at least a place near, Dehradun or in Himachal Pradesh. So also in this story, the story actually expresses the writer's attraction for a poor book basket seller, whom he comes across at a small station while he was on his way to Dehradun, that is. The narrator is actually in his late teens, that is teenage, when he travels by train from Delhi to Dehra every summer to spend a vacation with his grandmother. Okay, and on the way to Dehra, the train stops at a small village called Deoli. So Deoli is the name of a small village that he visits while he was going to meet his grandmother. The narrator meets a young and attractive girl who sells baskets on the station platform. He is instantly interested and buys a basket from her. On his subsequent visits, he is bolder and strikes up a conversation with her, but every time he has to rush back into the train so that he does not miss it. He makes plans to take her with him, carried away by his youthful and romantic imagination. The next time, however, he does not see her and he is unable to find out her whereabouts despite inquiring at the station. He meets the girl only twice, never to see her again, but she remains in his memory for a long time. Okay, so this is the incident that we will be seeing in the short story. It's a very small and very delicate kind of love story um, that the writer actually tells us, written in a very simple language. All of you, even if you read it once, you will get what the writer means to say. What is important is the sensitivity with which the writer deals with this topic of your first love or your infatuation. Okay, so there is a great importance of first love in life. Because you fall in love with someone for the first time in your life. This love has no selfishness. There is nothing sort of selfishness in that love. So there is no expectation in that. So you will, see all these things in the relationship that the narrator shares with this basket seller in this story. Okay, so that is our story. I request you all, if you can, if you do get time, and if you do have an access to this story, kindly go through the story once. And even if you don't, I will be dealing with it in the next class. And as I told you, I will be giving you important questions as well. I will be discussing with you the MCQs as well. I will be discussing with you the important long questions as well. So let us deal with the story in the next class. If you have, again I repeat, if you have any questions, kindly write those questions down in your notebook, and you can ask those questions later on whenever I tell you to ask the questions in the live lecture. Okay. So till then, I request you all to kindly buy a notebook at least, and in that notebook you should give a heading of the subject name. You should also write the syllabus and the name of the first story, that is the night train at Deoli. Okay. uh, See you soon. Thank you.